Mark,
Hey, Paul.
what's going on?
I'm just staring at Zatanna's thighs, my dude.
Yeah, you
They
can't
thick.
you can't stare though because it makes me think we're frozen.
Yeah.
It is a non-absolute comic issue this week, so we're going to take a look at the newest all-in title. It is Zatanna #1, and we will do all of that right after this. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. Don't forget to hit the like button while you're there as well. It's a little thumbs up right down below. And leave us a comment. Let us know if you're reading Zatanna, what you thought of us. And if you're watching these, which hopefully you are, because then otherwise I'm speaking to nobody, let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you think you'd like us to take a look at next. So we're going to take a look at Zatanna #1, the newest all-in title by Mr. Jamal Campbell, who we haven't seen since I think probably the early issues of Superman with Joshua Williamson.
Yeah. Not only is he doing the art, he's doing all of it.
Exactly, he's writing and everything, um, and it starts off with a little bit of a fairy tale that's going on here.
Yeah. It's just a sad queen who couldn't get her shadow to stop crying. So she went to the mystics of her group who separated the two, creating what looked like the creation of light and dark in this mystic world. And, uh, and we don't know where it's going to go from there. It's just a little tease.
Exactly, because then it kind of quickly kind of with a double page spread kind of takes a look at for the most part probably Zatanna's career in the DCU.
Yeah, it looks like a little quick one photo history of
Mhm.
Zatanna. Pretty cool from losing her mom to rocking with the JSA and the JLA a little bit. And then the shot of losing her father in the Swamp Thing anniversary issue where he's lighting on fire at the seance and
Mhm.
him training her as a kid with the rings and stuff to be a magician. It's pretty cool little photo there.
Yep. And then we flash to Zatanna, basically behind the scenes, getting ready to do a rehearsal for her show, and then we get she says, "I'll be ready in 3, 2, 1," and then we do showtime. Again, we get a huge, just enough to remind us exactly how much we loved Jamal Campbell's art in Superman as well. That's just a great panel right there, full page.
Yeah, she pops out in this epic one page splash just to have everyone in the air quotes crowd say, "You're doing too much. This is just a rehearsal." And it
Mhm.
looks like her and her friends, other magicians and such, are trying to revitalize a famous old theater that hosted a lot of magicians through the ages. And they're prepping a show, decorating the place, and talking about how nervous this whole endeavor is.
Yeah, we get the traditional Zatanna in her tuxedo, top hat, fishnets, um,
Fishnets.
exact fishnets, and then we see that as they're doing the rehearsal, she one of the acts or part of the act is to have herself and one of her assistants come at each other with a sword, um, and it looks as though he believes that he may have actually plunged the sword into the wrong part of Zatanna.
Yeah, and then
Um,
he immediately jumps into overreacting, nervous. Oh no, I can't believe I hurt our star of the show. And she's like, "No, you're fine. Quit doubting yourself. It's just the harness is uncomfortable when we slide the fake swords in and stuff." And this dude is full of self doubt and looks like he's kind of our primary side character for this issue.
right. We see Zatanna walking through walking with this assistant through what seems to be like the halls of this particular theater that she is in.
Very Kubrickian hallway too. It feels like it goes on forever.
Yeah, it does. With lots of old paintings, it looks like lots of chandeliers and things like that. So it's very much a early 1900s. Seems like an early
Yeah,
1900s type of.
the hallway's decorated with portraits and paintings of famous musicians that have come through these halls before this crew that's working there, and they're kind of lamenting those people in the photos. And they specifically start talking about one of them, the Lady White, who had a hand in everything from films to theater to music to fashion and fine arts. The woman was an entire renaissance unto herself, and she was super mysterious that nobody knows who she really is or what really happened to her. She came through, made a big splash, and she was kind of gone. And even her biographies are wild.
Right. Two gentlemen who seem to be in a relationship are then um, some two white hands come out of one of the portraits and basically grab these two and pull them in. Um, and Zatanna is left. Basically, we get our first, much to Mark's chagrin, we get our first backwards incantation.
I'll have everyone know I didn't read a single one of them. Doesn't I guess it doesn't matter what they say because I skipped every single one of these backwards written bubbles, and I feel like I understood what happened just fine.
Well, there you go. There you go. Basically, what she's doing is, I mean, not too much of a surprise to Mark's point is, she's trying to ward off these hands. Um,
The way that Zatanna it does her magic, the way it's shown and represented in this medium is she just says what she wants to happen, but the way that they present it is with those words she says are written backwards. That's how you know she's doing her spells. So that it's so clever, so clever.
that's not all. They're also in pink.
Oh
In
yeah.
pink,
So
pink,
just
pink
imagine if they
bubbles.
wrote them forward and put them in pink, we're good. We'd be fine. We get it.
That's the whole. That's her whole. That's her thing. That's her riz.
That's her Riz. Oh god. This show just elevated a peg with that.
There you go. Um,
Yeah, she pops in the painting where
yeah.
all these apparitions, these giant white hands are coming out, snatching people and pulling them into the painting, and she's telling them to go away, shoe fly, shoe, go on now, get. And she's trying to catch Adam, her little assistant, as he's getting drug in, and she just dives in after him into a world of crazy magic, into the magic realm where it's you're not in Kansas anymore, and she's just running, chasing, trying to catch up with him from one painting to another. And when she jumps into the painting, you kind of go into the theme of the painting. She jumps into one of them that's called Down at Sunrise that looks like a Western. And so she looks like she's in the West and she lands in a river and she's even throwing a lasso to grab the hand with it and get it to let go of her assistants and stuff. And she sends the first one she saves back through a portal and continues down the painting rabbit hole one after the other, which was a great page splash, by the way. The way this is laid out of kind of just giving you the passage of time and her diving through each of these. You have the sci-fi one, the old romance one, the pirates ones, and it's just super cool. It was a fun panel to hang out on for a minute and kind of get the idea of the different eras and the different popular films and shows of those times. It really really hit the landing with that one.
Yeah, it seems as though the Lady White may have been a movie actress and was in many different movies through
Yeah,
history.
they mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. And so, but to your point, I mean, you definitely have like a 50s, they came from above. That's very a sci-fi
Yeah.
type of a thing. That's from the 50s. Looks like one may be a musical. That's probably from the 40s or whatever. So, um, and we end up in a final one that's called Diamond and Roses by the Lady White. And that's where we have the big battle taking place between Zatanna and the White, and where they actually confront each other for the first time.
Yeah, so she was kind of surprised, not surprised to come face to face with the Lady White, who didn't seem very violent at first, and kind of just like leaning into getting to see Zatanna. And then they kind of step into a painting called Leave Them in the Rain that reminds me of like an old Humphrey Bogart style
Mhm.
something. And in this one, she's trying to quickly save her assistant Adam, who is at gunpoint of this what looks like a private detective or mobster or somebody. And he fires the gun at Adam, and you turn the page, and Zatanna has caught the bullet in her mouth, which is great. That she's saving people in classic magic trick fashions. It's stuff that you would see like Houdini or someone do. Like these gimmicky tricks are her real bag of tricks. And in the midst of this, a big apparition hand comes out, and she just shoos it away and everything. And she's kind of just freezes time and goes to talk finally with the Lady White to figure out what's really happening here. And in the process of trying to talk to Lady White to say enough is enough, the unthinkable occurs.
Yes, the person that she had originally, it's a callback to the beginning, where his assistant is now presumably under the spell or whatever, or under control by the Lady White, because he comes from behind and basically puts a what seems to be a magical sword from behind through Zatanna's chest. and we basically leave Zatanna lying at on the ground with this magical sword through her, awaiting issue number 2. So
Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I wasn't sure if he's working with her or if he was a victim of her because he doesn't stick around to help Satana.
right. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. We'll probably learn more obviously as the issues go along. Um, but I actually kind of really enjoyed this story.
Yeah, it was
Um,
fun.
yeah, Jamal Campbell did a good job. This is the first thing that I can recall reading that he had actually written. But his art, again, even going back to his Superman stuff, is I remember we would lament the fact that he wasn't drawing an issue of Superman when he started with Joshua Williamson. But yeah, he does really well here. So and if you're concerned, the fairy tale stuff is only on page 1.
Yeah, the if you because I was we talked about that
Yeah.
previously is when Zatanna #1 was being solicited in the last 3 pages of a lot of DC books will be preview pages for upcoming stuff. And Zatanna was solicited and they had that fairy tale page in there. And I saw that and closed the book and moved on. And Paul had to tell me, like, oh, check the next 2 pages because it doesn't look like that through the book. And
Right.
yeah, the fairy tale has a very distinctive, separate kid cartoony look and aesthetic to it.
Hmm.
But Jamal Campbell crushed it. The pacing was good. Like he did a well balanced round of characters and stuff. And the art was fantastic. And that was just a good combination there.
Yeah, I think this is just a 6 issue miniseries, but looking
Yeah, well,
forward to it.
that was my next thought. I was going to ask you, do you plan on adding this to your pool list, or is this one that you'll kind of just like keep up with by proxy kind of thing, or check out once it's done?
I don't think it'll be in my monthly poll list where I get the bigger discounts. I don't have to pay.
Mhm.
Um,
Me
no,
personally, I'm not adding it.
yeah,
I'll see what happens. Possibly check it out on the DC Universe app, which Ultra Tier subscribers. So I'll be right there with you. I'll be the 1 month behind
mhm.
release date as well. I'll probably yeah, if I continue hearing good things, just dip in there and check it out as it goes.
Yeah, because I mean, I still have to add to my monthly poll list. I have to add all the absolute issues that haven't come out yet. So there's 3 of them, yeah, that come out next month, starting next month.
Yeah,
Um,
Flash is the preview book in the back of this week's comic, so it's coming fast, pun
yeah,
intended.
I get it. Um, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff that I mean, they're doing a Mr. Terrific book is coming
Mini
out
series,
this
yeah.
summer. Yeah. Um,
The
I'm not sure about
Superman
the
Renaissance that's happening this summer.
yeah, Superman Unlimited, and then they have Supergirl. They have a crypto book. They're doing all sorts of stuff coming out. I'm not really sure about some of those, but um, definitely at least picking up the first issue of those anyway and see how it goes. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
you could do far worse than to read Zatanna issue number 1. That's for certain. So.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for this edition of DC Comics Deep Dive. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted whenever we upload new content. And leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. I am Paul. He is Mark,
But we are Legion.
and you're now leaving Sector 2815.